Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 5.
A 56-year-old man is in jail tonight accused of shooting a woman in the head early New Year's morning in rural Badger, Minnesota. Angelo Borison is being held on second-degree murder charges in the Roseau County Jail. Valley News Team's crime and safety reporter Bailey Hurley dug into Borison's past and has details. Bailey?
Mike, officials are keeping a tight lid onto what exactly happened here yesterday, but court documents show a very tumultuous relationship between both Angelo Borison and the victim. Now, going back to 2017, Borison was charged with 2 counts of misdemeanor assault against the victim, but just 1 month later, those charges were dropped as well as a protection order. Now, fast forward to April of 2019, and that's when the victim was charged with both terroristic threats and assault against Borison. Court documents saying the victim and one of her children attacked Borison with both a cane and hammer, striking him multiple times as well as strangling him. Court documents saying that Borison feared that day he was going to die. Now, the victim did serve a small amount of time for those charges, and as of yesterday, there was still an active no-contact order against both Borison and the victim. We'll continue to keep you updated on this developing story. For now, reporting in Badger, Bailey Hurley, Valley News Live.
Authorities aren't releasing the name of the victim until next of kin have been notified. Formal charges are expected to be filed tomorrow. The Fargo Catholic Diocese has released a list of clergy members with serious allegations of sexual abuse against children. The list contains 31 names, 19 of them belonging to Fargo's diocese. The diocese says all 31 names are substantiated allegations, meaning that they believe the abuse did occur. All of the people on this list have either died or no longer work for the Roman Catholic Church. 19 were either priests, deacons, or bishops with the Fargo Diocese when the alleged abuse happened. For a full list, search the VNL app in the App Store, download it for free, and we'll have more details on this story tonight on Valley News Live at 6. If you're planning to be out tonight, take it easy on the roads. We have been hearing about car crashes late this afternoon, so ease up on the gas pedal and leave yourself plenty of distance between you and the car ahead of you. Let's find out from Hutch about tonight's weather conditions in your no-wait weather forecast.
Mike, Mike. Even though temperatures show we are above freezing, things are wet and a little slippery out there. As mentioned, 32 in Fargo, Grand Forks at 24 this hour. How about Anchorage at 11 above? We're in the South Pole right now, 9 below zero. A little comparison. Look out west, 35 Bismarck, 37 Mobridge, and those 30s here in southeast North Dakota also feeling pretty nice into Lakes Country. 20s for most up north. Little snow is developing out to the west, and that's where it will stay this evening. So your evening plans for Fargo might look pretty quiet with temperatures that will be near 30 for the next couple of hours before slipping into the 20s late tonight. I'll have hour-by-hour details in your forecast coming up here in just a little bit about how much snow you can expect, because for some of us, that morning commute will be impacted.
All right, thank you so much. Heavy snow led to the season's first roof collapse today. Not only did the roof cave in, but it led to a gas leak and fire. It happened at the Trinity Containers building that's located at 420 Main Avenue East. There was one person inside who at the time put the fire out. They weren't hurt.
I would say people start checking your roofs and making sure they're clear so that we don't have any further issues as far as roof collapses, that type of thing. In homes also, be checking your vents and clearing your roofs off because we got such a heavy snowfall this last week.
No one is allowed to go back into that business at this time. Firefighters are saying it's a good time to get out and check those with your roof rakes. Police want you to know about a high-risk sex offender that is moving into the Fargo-Moorhead Metro. 25-year-old Alexander Emmons will be moving into 734 College Street in Fargo. He was charged with gross sexual imposition as a 19-year-old after raping a 14-year-old. High-risk offenders are considered to most likely reoffend. Structural concerns stemming from heavy snow on the roof caused the Dilworth-Glendon-Felton School District to cancel classes today. The district posted on its Facebook page saying that classes will be canceled again tomorrow while crews work to clear the snow. A structural engineer was brought in to review the buildings, and they had concerns over the Glendon building. It was advised to clear the roof before allowing people back into that building. School will start up again on Monday. The FDA has announced new steps to try and stop the teen vaping epidemic, but the policy stopped far short of what health experts demanded. As Kenneth Craig reports, that's sparking an angry outcry.
The Trump administration announced a crackdown on flavored e-cigarettes, promising to remove the products that are most popular with young people. That includes all mint, fruit, and dessert flavored cartridges.
The enforcement policy we're issuing today confirms our commitment to dramatically limit children's access to certain flavored e-cigarette products we know are so appealing to them.
Anti-tobacco groups immediately objected, saying the policy stops short.
We're deeply disappointed.
Both tobacco and menthol-flavored products will be allowed to stay on the market.
Kids who are using flavors like mint will simply move over to menthol.
The Department of Health and Human Services says virtually all e-cigarettes on the market are illegal, having failed to apply to the FDA for authorization. Banned flavors will be the priority of this enforcement action and will be removed from shelves within 30 days. For all electronic nicotine products, manufacturers have until mid-May to apply for an application.
It would be nothing short of criminal if the FDA allowed the flavored e-cigarette products that have caused over 5 million of our youth under the age of 18 to use these products to get back on the market.
18-year-old Chance Amarata was one of those youths and told CBS last year it may have contributed to his lung injury.
I just freaked out, and they said, "Your lung has collapsed. You have to go to surgery right now."
The policy will apply to closed cartridge pods, but not the refillable e-liquids sold in vape shops, which are most popular with adults. Kenneth Craig, CBS News, New York.
The American Vaping Association responded by saying banning flavors in closed systems will result in more adults smoking conventional cigarettes. There are rising tensions in the Middle East following the worst attack in years on a U.S. embassy in Baghdad. The demonstrators who didn't make it inside the embassy complex are angry over U.S. airstrikes against Iranian militias in Iraq and Syria. And although pro-Iranian militants have retreated for now, questions remain about what will happen next between the U.S. and Iran. Hundreds of soldiers began deploying from Fort Bragg to the Middle East this week in response to the unrest.
Well, the situation is stabilized. My latest information is that the Iranian-sponsored militia groups that were there on site have retreated. And as you know, we have reinforced the embassy to make sure that it is secure and safe for all the personnel inside there.
Secretary Esper says the increased troops are there to secure not just the embassy in Iraq, but the whole region, and will remain as long as necessary. Julian Castro is dropping out of the 2020 presidential race. Castro's campaign has confirmed he is suspending his campaign. The former HUD secretary and San Antonio mayor was the only Latino candidate running for president. The 45-year-old struggled at the polls, rarely exceeding 2% in national surveys. Castro tweeted that he was proud of everything accomplished and that he is going to keep fighting for an America where everyone counts. The state of Minnesota is expected to pay $250,000 to give every child born in St. Paul a $50 college savings deposit. One of the first St. Paul babies getting access to this account is the daughter of a college professor. The state of Minnesota is planning to pick up the tab for the first 2 years of the program. We're less than a week from our coverage starting on Bison Nation in Frisco, Texas. This is an all too common scene for many fans who travel south to cheer on NDSU as it plays for yet another championship. Our crews will start touching down in Texas next Wednesday with our live coverage to begin that night. We'll let you know what Frisco has in store for fans, follow the thousands of folks who will begin arriving next Thursday, and we'll see what NDSU has planned to get Bison Nation ramped up for the big game. Our pregame show will be a 90-minute version starting at 9:30 Saturday morning. That's January 11th. Look for former players, fans, watch as the team arrives, and so much more. That's 9:30 Saturday morning, January 11th on KVLY.